Making an intro to a video is perhaps the hardest part of it for me, other than maybe the thumbnail and writing the description, but I always have the most trouble with intros. So with that being said, why am I making this video now? Well, I kind of randomly just got the urge to talk. I felt like I needed to talk to someone. It's like really late at night and I don't want to wake anyone up. So I figured there's nothing better to talk about at this time of night than something I care very much about. Loki. Loki Season 2 is happening, everybody. I don't care if you want Moon Knight or WandaVision or Hawkeye. We're getting Loki, and that's just the timeline you have to live with. Ever since they announced it at the end of Season 1, the little stamp. Now, my favorite part about that tease is that they only confirmed Loki's return. They didn't confirm any of the other characters. Yet, with the past week, Disney had their D23 Expo, and now we know that it's not just him coming back. Although we kind of had a glimpse of this way before, but just stick with me. I have some sort of structure, even though I'm freehanding literally everything I'm talking about. So Loki getting a Season 2, I feel like, to me, makes sense, because I feel like, logically, where else would he go? Season 1 was very successful, everyone liked it, or at least everyone talked enough about it to gain popularity. Of course, they're going to be doing a Season 2 of that. It ended on a cliffhanger, there's a lot of directions that they could go, and it has characters that are going to be setting up the whole multiverse saga. Starting with the very basic information, the D23 Expo, where Disney shows off all their brand new toys and trailers for people to complain about and show their kids to react to. So with everything that they showed, it makes sense that some things are going to get overshadowed. Obviously, you have trailers for Disenchanted and Little Mermaid, and of course that's going to pick up more traction than something like Hocus Pocus 2. Why are they just making, like, sequels or something? Can they make an original concept? So, of course, Marvel being owned by Disney has a lot of stuff to throw at the fans for them to complain about a couple minutes later. Loki being one of them, except I didn't really see anybody talking about it. I'm not surprised that Loki is getting overshadowed because, well, Twitter doesn't like it very much. I guess I can't say I was too shocked that people weren't talking about it, but I was shocked that I actually had to physically type in the 4 letters of Loki into the search bar in order to find anything about it. Now, at this event, they show exclusive footage to all the people who showed up. Now, the trailer that they showed, parts of it ended up getting leaked online. I was scrolling through it and I saw that some videos from some tweets were actually removed for copyright, which means that it's real. It's kind of the same case as Spider-Man No Way Home, where Sony went around to random Twitter accounts and started, like, taking the videos down due to, like, copyright. So at that point, people kind of knew, like, okay, Toby and Andrew are in it because this dude just posted a picture and now it's gone. It was kind of obvious that what leaked onto Twitter and is on the internet currently is real. It's not some, like, voice mod or footage chopped together from, like, the actor's previous movies. This is probably legit. I believe the audio leaked had something about Loki being, like, the villain or being seen as the villain by literally everyone, which was a running theme in literally every single Marvel property he has ever appeared in. In the leaked audio clips, he's talking to Mobius. Not Morbius, Mobius, which means Mobius is coming back. Awesome. Other characters returning include Sylvie. Makes sense. As far as what Sylvie is doing there, I don't know. We just know that she's there. It makes sense. She was like the co-main character for the majority of the show. It's basically all that came out of D23, and all that they showed, at least that the internet is able to see from the Loki presentation. Of course, the memes have already started, which is just lovely. That's great. But the D23 Expo is not the only glimpse of Season 2 that we got, because set photos were actually released earlier in the year. Like, for example, this one of the gang at McDonald's, showing that Sylvie most likely has a part-time job at everyone's favorite house of the Whopper? What am I saying? A part-time fast food worker? She's just like me. As someone who works at a movie theater, I too get free drinks and constantly have to stand in the shadow of Chris Hemsworth. So I completely relate to Sylvie here. I like the direction this is going. Yeah, there's all sorts of weird stuff like being randomly shared around on the internet, and there's not a lot of set photos, just really the ones from the McDonald's thing that they're doing. Like, I almost want to complain about the absurdity of this, but after She-Hulk twerking, I feel like I'm completely down for this. I want to see what they do at McDonald's. Other leaks or plot details include something about, like, suburbia and a bookstore, which just makes this feel like WandaVision. I will be honest, when you take characters like Loki and Mobius and Sylvie and the concept of Loki as a show, and then you start throwing in, like, random obscure script leaks such as, like, bookstore in suburbia that has like a weird, creepy, uncanny valley of like, what is going on? What's going on that concerns them? Like, what point in history or time did they go to that they're now stuck in? Like, in a bookstore. Like, what's scary about a bookstore? It's almost like the absence of horror is what is scary in the first place. What about these mundane, basic locations concerns not only one Loki, but multiple Lokis? Like, for them to run into conflict here at a bookstore? What's hiding behind those bookshelves, you know? We've been getting leaks from the Loki drip. Awesome. So the Disney faucet has been dripping leaks of Loki for a while now. Apparently there's also supposed to be a lot more Kang, which is great because honestly I didn't expect much of him in the first season, and he had an entire episode, which gives me hope that they might actually, like, go somewhere with him in season 2. Like I said, they're gonna have to set up a lot of the multiverse saga, and with Kang looking to be the big bad of this whole saga, like I predicted in that really old YouTube video of mine.
Let's take a look at some good MCU villains. There's Loki, Ultron.
It makes sense that they're going to have a lot of them in this show, because ultimately Loki is what introduced him. It wasn't Ant-Man and the Wasp or like Secret Wars or something. Kang Dynasty is probably going to lean heavily into Loki. I think I said that backwards. As far as more characters to be in this show, I think the return of Alligator Loki is absolutely necessary. I want to see him bite someone else's hands off. Maybe he'll get lucky and bite 2 hands off. Maybe he's at the McDonald's. Maybe he's a friendly crocodile at the bookstore, and that's why they go there. It's just silent reading time. Anyways, the return of Alligator Loki is something that is absolutely essential, especially being someone who was born and raised in Florida. Also, this promotional picture has Scarlet Witch, Alligator Loki, and Thor. Not only is it an accurate representation of my mental state, but I hope to see it on film one day. Like, is this the plot of Doctor Strange 3? Now, leaks giving us hints of what's going to happen in the future is fun and all, and it's fun to speculate. I am a Smash Bros. Fan. I don't want to shoot myself in the foot way too much, but I do think that leaks are kind of bad because they ruin the fun. I'm being a little bit of a hypocrite here. I am dreamwalking, but I think we should probably stop with all the Loki leaks. Look, it's coming out next year. I could wait until next year. I've waited a year, several years and prior, so I could do it again. All I'm saying is that I'd rather be completely surprised by this show than waiting for something. You know, like, obviously now we're all going to be sitting here waiting for them to go to McDonald's. Mobius is going to say a line like, "Oh, hey, you want a Big Mac?" And everyone's going to start crying and clapping like Andrew Garfield showed up again. I think we should probably shy away from all the leaks because eventually everything's just going to get dull, and the show's not going to be fun anymore. I feel like season 1 had a lot of surprises, namely episode 5, that made everyone, like, excited and giddy over smaller things, and I want that to happen again, because, like, seeing the Thanos copter, or Throg, that was fun, and if you're just going to tell me everything that's going to happen bit by bit, that's not going to be fun. Oh, speaking of Throg, Thor, do you think the brothers are going to reunite? I'm guessing not. So with the post-credit scene confirming that Valhalla is a place that, you know, Asgardians go to when they die, it opens up an interesting question. Number 1, is Loki Asgardian, like, at heart? Because he never really considered himself after finding out that, you know, he's not their real child. Will he end up there? I don't freaking know. Jane ended up there. Then again, she did become Thor for a little bit. So, will Loki return in the future? Probably, because a lot of people seem to like him. They're probably going to throw him in Secret Wars or something. Along with Sylvie, too. Now, my prediction is that Sylvie is going to become the Enchantress. I'm guessing that, you know, of course, being named Sylvie and having the abilities to enchant people and being green all around, she's probably going to level up in the MCU and become a key player, which is probably going to anger a lot of Twitter. But that being said, will she ever meet Wanda? Because the two are very similar. And I would like to see that interaction. Definitely, because plot relevance. Wholeheartedly for the plot. So that's basically all I really wanted to talk about as far as Loki Season 2. I just randomly started thinking about it because of this magnet that I have that says Glorious Purpose. So I feel like sitting here talking to a microphone about something that very little people actually care about fulfills that perfectly. With that being said, I would like to thank all of you for listening to me ramble because I feel like it actually helped me calm down before I went to bed.